Don't worry, Officer Barnes. I'll see what I can do. After a long conversation with Officer Barnes, Aaron put down the phone, holding his head. What was going on? Apparently, Victor Wagner had predicted the death of one of the patients at the rehabilitation center some time back. It was yesterday that the prediction came out true. The man Victor had claimed would pass away had an unexpected death. Havoc ran loose in the rehabilitation center when the others got hold of Victor, saying he was responsible, whereas Victor had been locked up in his room at the time of the man's death. The authorities were investigating the matter, but due to the uproar in the facility, Victor had to be transferred to another high-security mental asylum. Aaron was bewildered by what he heard. How could this be possible? That night, Aaron spent a lot of time researching Victor Wagner's case. Victor Wagner had been suspected of taking the life of his ex-wife, Bella Adams. They had recently gotten divorced, after which Bella Adams was found lifeless in her apartment. The neighbors were the first to call the police when they got suspicious something horrible had occurred when they found the apartment door broken into. When the police arrived, they found Victor Wagner in the apartment, his hands stained with red. He was arrested, however, he refused to be the one responsible. We have found security footage of you breaking into Bella Adams' apartment. If there was an intruder, it was none other than you. Your silly claims have no value, Wagner. You know very well how this system works. I don't know how to explain to you people. I don't know myself why these things are happening to me. I was at home when I started to get a horrible headache. I went to sleep assuming the pain would go away. But in the middle of the night, I experienced one of those visions, a premonition, whatever you call it. I saw Bella suffering. She was taking her last breath. I knew what I saw was bound to happen. I wanted to prevent it, but I was too late. We may not have been in good terms, but the truth is that I still love her. We had been together for nearly 7 years. I had to break into her apartment, but when I got in, Bella was no more. 7 years, that didn't go by all too well. We have accounts of your ex-wife complaining against you. She complained of how aggressive you often became. Officers, men will be men. Sometimes we had misunderstandings, and I lost my temper. But that doesn't prove that I would take her life over a silly argument. The more time you waste on proving me guilty, the actual culprit is getting away. During the investigation that followed, no evidence could be found other than the security footage in the lobby that showed Victor Wagner had broken into the apartment. However, the windows in the kitchen were found tampered with. Anyone could easily enter through the fire escape. Unfortunately, the security camera that viewed the window, which was facing the back side of the apartment building, had been damaged. All suspicion was raised against Victor Wagner due to his awful relationship with Bella Adams. However, Victor became extremely uncontrollable. He stubbornly insisted that he had a relationship with supernatural entities. He saw things that ordinary people didn't. Due to lack of evidence and his own absurd claims, Victor Wagner was judged as mentally unstable and sent to the rehabilitation center. The next morning, Brianna arranged a pass for Aaron to visit and interview Victor Wagner. When Aaron got to the new address, the authorities allowed him in after a long security checkup and numerous questions. But Aaron was surprised that Victor Wagner himself was reluctant to be interviewed, although after much insistence, he finally agreed. Are you another one of those skeptic reporters who's come here to allege me with a crime that I haven't committed? What more does it take to prove a man innocent? You people haven't found one piece of evidence that goes against me. You haven't found anything in Bella's apartment, nor have you discovered anything suspicious about me in the past years I've been locked up. Mr. Wagner, please try to hold your patience. I haven't come here to allege you with anything. Rather, I'd like to speak with you about the strange visions you have. I want to hear your story. My story? I've spoken to a friend of yours, Officer Barnes, who's told me quite a lot about you. He believes you have the ability to predict a person's end before it comes. Mr. Wagner, could you tell me a little more about these bizarre predictions of yours? What do you hear? Or what do you see? You won't believe me, but what Barnes said is true. It was since that day at the lake. I was holding the woman's arm when I heard her voice from inside the car. I felt a sudden shock, an immense pain in my head. When I held her, she kept shouting. That's when I noticed a dark figure on the other side of the vehicle, where the woman's daughter was trapped. It was something out of this world. None had seen it but me. And I was horrified by the cold presence it had brought. I believe something had been passed down to me when she communicated from the other side of life. The dark figure was none other than death itself that had come to take the young soul just like it took the other. The woman wanted me to save her daughter before she was taken away. Since that day, whenever something horrible is to occur to someone far or near me, I have these bizarre visions of their end. It starts with a shocking bright light, after which the headaches are painful. But what is more petrifying is seeing the end of that individual flash before my eyes. And that dark figure? I've noticed this dark entity in every one of my visions. It is the presence that comes to take the life away with it. It's the presence that I'm somehow linked with. I still don't know how these visions occur, but it's the reality, and it's horrifying. That night, when I broke into Bella's apartment, I realized someone had been there before me. Someone else had broken in and took her life. If this is so, why haven't the police found any other evidence of the intruder? How will they get to the bottom of this when they think they've arrested the culprit already? The authorities found the windows tampered with. The knife with which Bella was harmed wasn't hers, nor was it mine, and the security camera behind the apartment building was damaged. And what about the death of that patient that occurred a few days ago? You predicted that as well. I had another vision. The man passed away from a sudden heart attack. I was nowhere near him, nor had I talked to him before, but you will all call it a coincidence, or allege me of scheming it all. I've told you already, you won't believe me. Aaron Moore truly wasn't convinced by this man's words, although there was something suspicious about the whole matter. If he didn't have powers, how else could he predict such things? But then again, he couldn't exactly prove them on the spot either. Skeptically, Aaron asked, "Is there any way you could prove your abilities? Do these visions occur often?" Listen, young man, I'm not here to prove anything. If you don't believe me, then just leave. In a rage, Victor picked up Aaron's files and was about to throw them across the table, when suddenly he dropped them to the floor and held his head. What happened? Are you okay? The man furrowed his brows as he tried to concentrate. Aaron, your friend, your idol, Henry Connery, he's in danger. Aaron looked at the man in disbelief. Do you know Professor Henry Connery? You don't have much time. He's in trouble. Go. Before Aaron could ask Victor anything more, the security guard came in and informed him his time was over. Aaron had no choice but to leave, but he didn't know what to think. He was skeptic about Victor's claims. But how could he know that Aaron was one of Professor Connery's students? And even so, how did he know that Aaron idolized him? Aaron Moore went back to the BII Corporation, still pondering on the talk he had with Victor. He walked into Brianna's office not knowing what to tell her. He'd have to hear her long "I told you so" lecture. But, strangely, her office room was empty. Aaron turned around and scanned the entire floor. Brianna wasn't here. Mr. Schneider, have you seen Brianna around? Give me 1 minute, Laverne. I'll call you back. I love you, sweetheart. Yes, I'll be home early. Yes, Aaron, what were you saying? Brianna? I think I saw her leaving. Leaving? Oh, okay. Mr. Schneider, are you okay? You don't look too well. Maybe you should take a few days off. Really? That's what my wife Laverne's been telling me. She cares a lot for me. Don't know what I would have done without her." Aaron awkwardly shook his head as he slipped away. Suddenly, his phone lit up. It was Brianna. "Aaron, you have to arrive at the BII hospital immediately. Professor Connery's been badly injured. Someone tried to attack him. Leave everything at the office and get here right now. I'll handle everything." "What? I'll be there as soon as possible." Aaron dropped his things and hurried out the door. There were numerous things to worry about, but the only thing that ran through his mind was the warning Victor Wagner gave him. "Aaron, your friend, your idol, Henry Connery, he's in danger." Aaron was bewildered. How could Victor have predicted it? Not once or twice, but so many times. Could such abilities exist? Had he been saying the truth all along? Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.